Students, how are you all? Hope you all are fine. This is your mathematics class 9th, chapter 6, lines and angles. So students, today we are going to revise your chapter lines and angles. So in today's lecture, we will revise all your definitions and concepts. So we will start our lecture. First, we will revise introduction, basic terms and definitions, then intersecting lines and non-intersecting lines. We will start our lecture with the definition of line. So, what is line? Which has no end point and we can produce indefinitely. So, students, line is a breathless length which has no end point and we can produce from the both sides indefinitely. We called it as line. What is line? Segment. A part of line which has two end points, we called it as line segment. Ray. What is ray? A part of line which has only one end point, we call it as ray. So students, we can write line like this. We have a line with no end. We can produce on both sides. We mark these two type of marks. It shows that we can produce this line from the both ends. Line segment with two end point, we cannot produce this line. Ray. We have only one end point and we can produce this line from this side. These are the symbols. Next definition is collinear points. If there are three or more points lie on the same line. What? If three or more points lie on a same line, then we called it as collinear points. Like if we have these 3 points and they are lying on a same line, then they are collinear points. If we have one more point like this, and now these 4 points are not lying on a same straight line, then we call them as non-collinear points. Angle. What is angle? When two rays originate from a same end point, then they will make a angle. We call it as angle. Again, when two rays originate, it means when two rays start from one end point, from the same origin, then they will make a angle. We will call this as vertex and these two arms as arms. The rays making an angle are called the arms and the end point is called vertex of an angle. So this is our angle. Now the question is, how many type of angle we have? We have so many type of angles. So we will revise all those types also. These are the type of angles. If we will study these type of angles like this, we have 0 degree here. So what is the measure of 0 degree? What is the angle of 0 degree? Whose measure is 0? We called it as 0 degree. When we will move from here to here, which type of angles are there? Acute angles. The definition of acute angles are those angles which are greater than 0 but less than 90. Which are greater than 0 but less than 90. It means they are lying in this first quadrant. We call them as acute angle. Right angle. When x is equal to 90 degree, it means here we called it as 90 degree. The angle whose measure is 90 degree, we called it as right angle. Next one is obtuse angle. Obtuse angle is this: when we will move from upper part of right angle and from here to here. It means the measure of any angle is greater than 90 degree but less than 180 degree. We called it as obtuse angle, means lie in this second quadrant. Straight line angle. Straight line angle, we called it at this point. Here we have 180 degree. We called it as straight line angle when the measure of an angle is 180 degree. Next one is reflex angle. Reflex angle is which is greater than 180 but less than 360. Which is greater than 180 but less than 360. At this point we have angle 270 degree, and after the complete rotation we have complete angle here also. The measure of complete angle is 360 degree. Next one is complementary angles. Two angles whose sum is 90 degree are called complementary angles. We can understand this like that if we have one angle and we are going to find the complement of that angle. So complement of that angle is always those which make the sum 90 degree. So those angles whose sum is 90 degree are called complementary angles. Two angles whose sum is 180 degree, then they are supplementary angles. Those two angles whose sum is 180 degree, we call them as supplementary angles. Next one is adjacent angles. Two angles are adjacent if they have a common vertex. We have two angles are here. We have three rays are like this. All those two angles have a common vertex, vertex B in this diagram. And we have one common arm also. And two known common arms are present on the either side or on the different side of this common arm. So, two angles which have one common vertex, which have one common arm, and two known common arm are present on the either side of common arm. We call them as adjacent angle. Next one is linear pair. Linear pair basically a special case of adjacent angle. If known common arm which is present on the either side of common arm are totally opposite to each other, then we call it a straight line. Then they will make a linear pair. Now 1 and 2 both are adjacent angles also, and then the sum of these two angles are 180 degree. Then we called it as linear pair. Next is vertically opposite angles. When two lines intersect each other at a point, then these two lines will make four angles, in which two angles are a pair of two angles are totally opposite to each other. We call them as vertically opposite angles, and they are equal to each other. Next definition is intersecting lines. When two lines having a common point is called intersecting lines. When two lines intersect each other at a one common point, then we call them as intersecting lines. Next is concurrent lines. Concurrent lines are those lines which are intersect each other at a common point. Now what is the difference between intersecting line and concurrent lines? In intersecting line we have only two lines. In concurrent line, if we have two or more than two lines, we have more than two lines like 3, 4, 5, 6 and more than all these things intersect at the same point, then they call the concurrent line. Like this, they have we have so many lines and they are intersecting on a same point. We call them as concurrent lines. Next definition is parallel lines. Parallel lines are those lines which do not meet at any point in a plane and they are at equal distance from each other. Like this diagram, if we have two lines like this and they will never meet in this plane if we will produce them, and if they have equal distance in all over between them, then we call them as parallel lines. Next topic is parallel line and transversal line. When two straight lines are parallel to each other and a third straight line cut these two parallel lines, then we called it as transversal line. So here M and N are parallel lines and L is a transversal line. So now we will revise all type of angles which have these two lines. We have 8 angles in it. So first of all, first two type is exterior angles and interior angle. As it is clear with this name, those angles are present exterior part of these two parallel lines. They are exterior angles like angle 1, angle 2, angle 7 and angle 8. And those angles are present in the interior part of these two parallel lines. We call them as interior angles. Angle 3, angle 4, angle 5 and angle 6. Next one is corresponding angles. Corresponding angles. The definition of corresponding angles is when two angles have their same matching position and they are present on the same side of a transversal line, then we call them as corresponding angles. So for example, angle 1 and angle 5 having same matching position, like angle 1 is also present on the upper part of this line and angle 5 is also present on the upper part of this line. So they both, angle 5 and angle 1, they both are lying on the right side of this transversal line. So these two angles having their same matching position and they are present on the same side of a transversal line, then we call them as corresponding angles. Another pair of corresponding angle is angle 2, angle 6, angle 3, angle 7, angle 4, angle 8. So next one is alternate interior angles. As it clear with this name, interior. So we are talking about interior. After this we have alternate exterior angles also. Alternate means opposite to each other. So alternate interior angles are those angles which are present in the interior part of these two parallel lines, but they are opposite to the transversal side. So first pair of alternate interior angle is 3 and 5. Second pair of alternate interior angle is angle 4, angle 6. So next is alternate exterior angle. Alternate exterior angle. Alternate exterior angle. So we will revise from this diagram only. Alternate exterior angles are those angles which are present in the exterior part of these two parallel lines and opposite to the transversal line. So first pair of the alternate exterior angle is angle 2, angle 8, angle 7 and angle 1. They are the pair of alternate exterior angles. Last type of angle is co-interior angles. Co-interior angles. Co-interior angles are those angles which are present on the same side of a transversal in the interior part of two parallel lines, and the sum of these two angles are 180 degree. So first pair of co-interior angle is angle 4, angle 5, because they are present in the interior part and they are on the same side of a transversal line. So first pair is angle 4 and angle 5 and the sum of these two angles are always 180 degree. Second pair is angle 3 and angle 6. They are also co-interior angle and the sum of these two angles are 180 degree. So students, we have so many different angles in this diagram. After corresponding alternate and co-interior angle, we have vertically opposite angles are also like this. Same here also, here also. We have linear pair also present in it. We have so many different angles are present in it. So hope you all are revise all these definition and you already learn all these definition. So today's homework is, for today's revision 1, our homework is learn all definitions and revise theorems also of chapter number 6, lines and angles. Thank you. Have a nice day.